Percussion group, and I am so grateful and excited that all of you have made it out tonight for what will be a really wonderful percussive journey. What you just heard was Stardust, and it featured many different elements of different styles, genres, and influences, everything from Metallica to the great minimalist composer Steve Reich, and I hope that started you off in spirited momentum for our evening. Speaking of, I wanted to set a little ground rules. There's no right or wrong way tonight to receive and enjoy what you hear, okay? So feel free to hoot, feel free to holler, feel free to clap whenever you please, and if it so moves you, just get up and dance, okay? So the last thing I want this concert to feel like is you're sitting in a church pew and you can't move or anything like that, okay? So enjoy yourselves tonight, and with that, carrying our momentum, our next piece is called Soulfood, and it's by a composer who goes by the name Jlin. She's primarily an electronic music composer based in Chicago, and she is really heavily influenced by a style of dance that has originated in Chicago called footwork, excuse me. And this style of dance, footwork, is rooted in very fast movements, very precise movements, and at times rhythmically unpredictable movements. So Soulfood really takes that to heart. I think there's a lot of exciting, groovy, and driving moments, but also some really delightful moments of surprise. Another fun fact for you, if you're curious how many instruments are in this one piece alone, it's roughly 45. Some of my favorites include the slap tube, the devil chaser. We have not one, but 2 samba whistles. And beyond that, we actually have a surgical tube that is tied and constructed to the air vent on a tom-tom, where when you blow into the tube, it actually changes the pitch of the tom-tom. So some very, very inventive sounds and material coming out of this great piece. So I hope you enjoy Soulfood. close off the first half of our program, next up we have a piece called Table Music by Thierry. And I think it really harkens back to a lot of sort of our percussion origin, where I don't know about any of you, but when I was growing up in grade school, I could not stop tapping my desk as a school kid. And I think a lot of drummers and percussionists have that impulse to just make music with whatever is in front of them. And so Thierry really kind of takes that ideal to heart and elevates that in a really special way. So what we have is essentially a blend between percussion and choreographed movement, and in a way, some describe this piece as a ballet for hands. And what we have on the score, everything is notated in terms of gestures, sounds, everything you hear, and it's a handwritten score with special symbols and notation for each individual gesture. And it's really, you're interpreting and translating so much just to begin to even play a phrase in this. So the students have done an incredible job working this up. It blends elements of percussion theater, choreographed movement, ballet, dance, and on top of it all, it's structured in the form of a Baroque suite. So you have a fugue, you have a gigue, you have a rondo, and so forth. So it's one of my absolute favorite pieces within the percussion theater realm, so I hope you enjoy Table Music. All right, everyone, we've got roughly a 6-minute set change, so please bear with us. Thank you for your patience in advance. We can turn up the lights now and talk amongst yourselves, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. Thanks. All right, so as we're in the last few minutes of our set change, I wanted to introduce our next piece. Up next, we have a piece by Alejandro Viriao, Relative Riffs. Classic rock was a genre of music that I think is one of the first genres that I really fell in love with. My dad introduced it to me. I remember going to all these concerts when I was young, and it was really a wonderful way to bond with my dad. And the composer Alejandro Viriao also has a similar affection for classic rock. And in this piece, he takes the idea of the guitar riff and really just flips it upside down. So normally we expect a guitar riff to kind of be like a hook, pretty catchy. The more you listen to it, the more it repeats, the better it feels, the more it makes you want to groove, all that sort of good stuff. So Viriao takes this idea of the sort of 1970s classic guitar riff and sometimes presents it in its entirety, so it's very clear, and other times it's kind of buried, either under layers of rhythm or other harmony. He might fragment the hook, and in so many different ways, we have this really awesome sort of hidden engine that drives the piece. That specific riff goes like this. So, your job as audience is to play a musical game of Where's Waldo? At all times, some part of that phrase is present, but many times it'll be quite hidden. So I hope your ears have fun with this, and I really do want to give a big shout out to this group in particular. They have gone just above and beyond in their preparation, bringing this piece to life. They have had probably, I don't know, 6 to 8 Friday morning, 7:30 a.m. rehearsals. In addition to our normal rehearsal time, just to give an example, and I don't know about you, but when I was a college student, last thing I wanted to do was wake up at 7 a.m. So it was just a wonderful experience working with this group. I hope you enjoy the first movement of Relative Riffs. Now, as we gear up for one last final set change, I wanted to give a word of thanks to so many people that make what you see on stage possible. First and foremost, a huge thanks to our students for putting in the work to bring this music to life. Yeah. It certainly takes a village to make things like this happen, and we are so thankful for our many percussion area donors and supporters. That would be Ellen Magadini and Greg Magadini in honor of the late Peter Magadini, Pat Flaherty, John Baldwin, so many others that have helped us in so many different ways. In addition to that, we have a super fantastic staff that just works around the clock to make the logistics of a night like this happen. So Wendy Skeen is our department events coordinator. John Franzen works back of house as our audio engineer. Beyond that, our larger upper administration at the university is so crucial to our success here. And I wanted to give a shout out to Dr. Leslie Moreau, our associate chair of our department, Dr. Lori Gray, our chair of the department, Dr. Amanda Ashley, our School for the Arts director, and then Dr. Marianne DeGraff, who is our College of Arts and Sciences interim dean. If you see any of these really amazing folks around, please tell them how much you enjoyed this show. And for any of you in the audience, thank you again for your support. It means the world to us. Our next piece on the program is a piece called Treed. And that's translated from Swedish into tree. And with that title, the composer was really alluding to this idea of sort of a forest of hands. It is a really wonderful post-minimal work that largely features individual parts coming together to create a really interesting texture built from repeated patterns. So with these patterns, they shift around. Sometimes they feel like they're in a very solid meter. Other times they kind of float or gurgle. The piece starts in kind of a moody, mysterious, and almost spooky C minor tonality, and through a very slow-moving harmonic journey, kind of erupts in E flat major in this really joyful way. So without further ado, here's John Ericsson's Treed. Closing out our show tonight is a work called Portal by Andy Akiho. He is one of the hottest in-demand new music composers out there today. He was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize for one of his works, Seven Pillars, which is a really amazing percussion quartet a couple of years ago. And we're going to present his Portal, which is one of his newest works. This is an open instrumentation work for any combination of players and instruments, whether it's percussion, strings, whatever. And so the group has had a really amazing challenge to be so creative, because the score literally is just two parts, part 1 and part 2, with very little instructions beyond that. And so it's really challenged them creatively to make this piece uniquely theirs. The piece is inspired by the composer's trips to New Mexico and the landscapes, specifically around Santa Fe. The word portal is in reference to sort of the bursts of energy and inspiration the composer felt when being at these different landscapes. It kind of transported him to a different realm, and he wanted to present that in a musical form. So, without further ado, thank you again for being here tonight. I really look forward to talking to all of you backstage, and we'll send you out on Andy Akiho's Portal.
Thank you all so much for coming out.